In a world where people constantly seek approval, where rejection feels like failure, and where comparison steals our joy, it's easy to give away our power without even realizing it. Have you ever felt as if someone else controls your happiness? Do you sometimes wonder why other people's opinions impact you so strongly? Imagine waking up one morning feeling unshaken by anyone's opinions, actions, or words. Picture yourself moving confidently through life with an inner strength that cannot be disturbed. What if you could take back your power and live freely and joyfully? Think about it, like holding a glass of water. If someone bumps into you, the water spills out. But if you hold that glass tightly, no one can shake it. Today, we are diving into 7 powerful lessons that will help you stop giving power to others and reclaim control over your emotions, your confidence, and your life. Let's begin. 1. Stop seeking validation from others. One of the most common ways people unknowingly give away their power is by constantly seeking approval from others. Whether it's through social media likes, compliments at work, or validation from friends and family, we often crave reassurance that we are enough. But when you rely on external validation to feel worthy, you hand over the reins of your self-esteem to others. Their opinions, moods, and judgments become the foundation of how you view yourself. The truth is, real confidence comes from within. You cannot expect others to consistently build you up when you aren't building yourself up from the inside. The world can't always affirm you, and trying to chase that approval will leave you feeling empty and frustrated. You need to cultivate self-approval by recognizing your worth, independent of external feedback. How can you start? By setting small goals that align with your values and celebrating your achievements. Instead of asking, "Do they like me?" ask, "Do I like myself?" This subtle shift in mindset is a game changer. When you truly validate yourself, external validation becomes a nice bonus, but not a necessity. 2. Don't let criticism define you. Criticism can either be a tool for growth or a weapon of destruction, depending on how you choose to perceive it. When we let criticism control our emotions, it has the power to break us down. But here's the thing, not all criticism is created equal. There's constructive criticism, which is meant to help you improve, and then there's destructive criticism, which is simply aimed at hurting you. If you allow all forms of criticism to define you, you give other people the power to shape your identity. You begin living your life based on how others think you should act, look, or speak. The key here is to learn to filter criticism. Listen to feedback that genuinely helps you grow and ignore the noise of negativity that comes from people who aren't invested in your well-being. A powerful way to handle criticism is by cultivating emotional resilience. When you hear something negative about yourself, instead of reacting immediately, pause. Reflect on the intention behind the words. Ask yourself, is this feedback coming from a place of care or a place of bitterness? If it's constructive, take it on board. If it's destructive, remind yourself that not everyone's opinion deserves space in your mind. 3. Set boundaries and stick to them. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Yet so many of us struggle to set them because we fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But here's the truth. Without boundaries, you allow others to overstep, dictate your life, and drain your energy. When you set boundaries, you're not being mean or selfish, you're protecting your peace. Boundaries are a powerful form of self-respect. They tell the world, this is how I expect to be treated. And when you enforce them, you regain control over your life. Boundaries can be as simple as saying no when someone asks you to do something that conflicts with your priorities, or as complex as limiting how much emotional labor you give to certain relationships. The key to effective boundaries is consistency. It's not enough to set them, you have to stick to them. People may resist or test your boundaries, especially if they're used to you being overly accommodating. But the more you stand firm, the more you reinforce your self-worth. The message becomes clear. You value yourself enough to protect your energy. 4. Don't let rejection break you. Rejection is one of the most painful human experiences, but it is also one of the most important teachers. When we face rejection, whether in relationships, jobs, or friendships, it's easy to take it personally and let it damage our self-worth. But rejection is not a reflection of your value, it's simply a redirection. It's the universe's way of closing one door so that another, better one can open. If you allow rejection to break you, you're essentially giving someone else the power to decide your future. Just because one person or one opportunity didn't work out doesn't mean there aren't countless other doors waiting for you. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of asking, "Why did they reject me?" ask, "What lesson can I learn from this and how can I grow?" Rejection builds resilience, and resilience is the key to reclaiming your power. Every no you face brings you one step closer to a yes that aligns with your path. Don't let one moment of rejection stop you from pursuing your goals. Lesson 5. Take responsibility for your emotions. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to point fingers when things don't go as planned? We often hear ourselves say things like, "They made me angry," "She ruined my day," or "He upset me." In these moments, we're unknowingly giving away our power. We're letting other people dictate how we feel, as if they have control over our emotions. But here's an important truth. No one, absolutely no one, can control your emotions except for you. Taking responsibility for your emotions is about understanding that while you can't control what happens to you in life, you can always control how you choose to respond to those situations. You might not be able to stop someone from saying something hurtful or unfair, but you have the power to decide how much weight you give to their words. You can either let their negativity fester inside you, causing frustration and resentment, or you can choose to let it roll off your back, recognizing that their words don't define your worth or how you should feel. Think of it this way. Life is full of unexpected challenges, moments that can trigger anger, sadness, or disappointment, but you hold the key to your emotional response. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you can either react with road rage or take a deep breath and remind yourself that one incident shouldn't ruin your entire day. If a coworker criticizes your work, you can either internalize that criticism and feel defeated, or you can view it as feedback and use it to grow stronger. When you take ownership of your emotions, you reclaim your power. You stop relying on external circumstances or other people's actions to determine how you feel. This is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that nothing bothers you. It's about processing your emotions in a healthy, constructive way that aligns with your values and goals. When you take responsibility for your emotional well-being, you become the author of your own emotional experience. It's incredibly empowering to know that no one can dictate how you feel unless you allow them to. By shifting the focus from blaming others to controlling your own reactions, you'll find that you're not as easily rattled by what people say or do. You'll feel a sense of calm and strength in knowing that you are in charge of how you respond to any situation. This is the ultimate form of emotional freedom, and it starts the moment you take responsibility for your feelings. 6. Don't let comparison steal your joy. One of the most damaging habits we can develop is comparing ourselves to others. Whether it's looking at someone's success, their relationships, their appearance, or their lifestyle, comparison has the sneaky ability to make us feel like we're falling short. In today's world, with social media constantly displaying people's highlight reels, It's easier than ever to slip into the habit of comparing ourselves to others. But here's the problem. Comparison not only robs us of joy, it also causes us to hand over our personal power. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're essentially saying that their achievements or qualities are more valuable than your own. You start measuring your self-worth against their successes, and often this leads to feelings of inadequacy, envy, and frustration. What we often forget is that we are only seeing one part of their story. We don't see the struggles, the failures, or the obstacles they've faced. We're comparing our full, messy reality to their carefully curated highlight reel, which is an unfair comparison from the start. It's crucial to remember that everyone's journey is different. We all have our own timelines, our own paths to success, and our own unique set of strengths. What works for one person might not work for you, and that's okay. Just because someone else seems to have achieved more or reached a milestone faster than you doesn't mean you're any less capable or worthy. Their success does not diminish yours. In fact, by focusing too much on what others are doing, you lose sight of your own progress and the unique qualities that make you who you are. One of the best ways to break free from the comparison trap is to practice gratitude. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you start to realize that your life is full of blessings and achievements that are worth celebrating. Take a moment every day to reflect on your own successes, big or small. Write them down if it helps. It could be something as simple as completing a task you've been putting off or learning a new skill. When you acknowledge your own progress, you'll start to see that you have plenty to be proud of, regardless of what anyone else is doing. Another powerful strategy to combat comparison is to shift your mindset from competition to inspiration. Instead of feeling threatened by someone else's success, let it motivate you. Use it as proof that success is possible and that if they can do it, so can you. Let other people's achievements inspire you to push harder, to grow, and to reach your own potential. But remember, your journey is your own. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not a copy of someone else. Remind yourself that you are only ever in competition with one person, yourself. Your goal should be to improve a little bit each day, to become better than you were yesterday, not better than someone else. When you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own growth, you take back your power. You begin to live life on your own terms, instead of constantly chasing after someone else's version of success. Think of it like running a race. If you spend the entire race looking at the people running next to you, you'll slow down, lose focus, and possibly stumble. But if you keep your eyes forward, focusing on your own lane, you'll run faster and stronger. Life works the same way. The moment you stop looking at what others are doing and focus on your own progress, you'll move forward with confidence and joy. So the next time you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's, take a deep breath and remind yourself, their journey is theirs, and mine is mine. Focus on what you can control, your own actions, your own growth, and your own happiness. That's where your power lies. Comparison may be tempting, but it will always steal your joy if you let it. By choosing to focus on your own path, you reclaim your happiness and your peace of mind. 7. Practice self-approval daily. Perhaps the most powerful lesson of all is learning to approve of yourself. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by other people's opinions, societal standards, and external pressures, it can be easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from outside sources. Whether it's praise from a boss, likes on social media, or the approval of family and friends, many of us depend on these external forms of validation to feel worthy. But here's the reality. No amount of external approval will ever fill the void if you don't approve of yourself first. Self-approval is about recognizing your own worth. independent of what others think or say. It's about standing firm in who you are, flaws and all, and knowing that you are enough just as you are. This doesn't mean you stop growing or striving to become a better version of yourself. Instead, it means that your worth isn't tied to your achievements, your appearance, or the opinions of others. It means that your value comes from within, and it's unshakable. Why is this so important? Because when you seek approval from others, you give them the power to control how you feel about yourself. If they approve, you feel good. If they disapprove, you feel bad. You find yourself stuck on an emotional roller coaster, always chasing the next moment of validation. This creates an endless cycle that leaves you open to manipulation or feeling inadequate when the approval doesn't come. The key to escaping this cycle is to focus on self-approval every day. But how does that work in daily life? It begins with reminding yourself of your own worth consistently. Rather than waiting for others to compliment you or recognize your efforts, make it a habit to acknowledge your own strengths, skills, and achievements. Each morning, take a moment to remind yourself of your value. It can be as simple as saying, "I am deserving of love and respect," or "I am proud of who I am and the person I'm becoming." These affirmations might feel small, but over time, they deeply influence how you view yourself. Another way to build self-approval is by celebrating your progress, no matter how minor. We often spend so much time focusing on what we haven't achieved or the things we still need to improve that we overlook how far we've already come. Every small step forward is an accomplishment. Whether you've learned a new skill, overcome a challenge, or simply made it through a tough day, take a moment to acknowledge and celebrate that. Recognizing your own efforts helps build confidence and reinforces the belief that you don't need anyone else's approval to feel proud of yourself. It's just as important to show yourself kindness when things don't go as planned. Many of us tend to be our own toughest critics, blaming ourselves harshly when we make mistakes or fall short of our expectations. But self-approval isn't about striving for perfection. It's about accepting your imperfections and recognizing that mistakes are a natural part of the journey. When you mess up, instead of being hard on yourself, try offering the same kindness and compassion that you would extend to a close friend. Remind yourself, it's okay to make mistakes. I'm learning and growing a little more every day. Self-approval also means trusting your instincts and staying true to your own values. Too often, we rely on others to tell us what we should do, how we should behave, or which decisions we should make. But no one understands you better than you understand yourself. Trust that inner voice that guides you toward what feels right and aligns with who you truly are. When you choose to live by your own values rather than trying to meet others' expectations, you'll experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace. Self-approval is a habit that needs daily practice, as it doesn't develop overnight. Just as building physical strength takes consistent exercise, building self-approval takes regular mental and emotional effort. Remind yourself every day that you are deserving of your own love, respect, and approval. Some days this will come more naturally than others, but the more you practice, the stronger your sense of self-worth will grow. Think of self-approval as the foundation for your emotional and mental well-being. When that foundation is solid, external validation loses its hold over you. Whether others praise you or criticize you, it won't shake your sense of who you are. Being grounded in your own approval gives you the strength to face life with confidence, resilience, and joy. Starting today, make self-approval a part of your daily routine. Remind yourself of your worth, acknowledge your progress, and treat yourself with kindness when things don't go as planned. You are enough exactly as you are, and no one else's opinion can change that unless you allow it to. Remember, The key to not giving away your power is understanding that you are in charge of your own life, emotions, and self-worth. These 7 lessons serve as your guide to regaining that control. Begin today by applying one or more of these principles to your life and see how your confidence and inner strength flourish. Which lesson spoke to you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content designed to help you reclaim your power.